All right, gang, welcome to Webinar Wednesday, where we look to provide tips to grow your online community. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. We have a great presentation for you. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I'm Jason there on the left, and we're lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories. David, thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, of course. Always love being on these webinars. Thanks everyone for joining us. We've got some really awesome new features to share with you this week.
That's 100% true. And for those of you joining for the first time, if you're not already a member of our Facebook group, I do encourage you to join. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. Just click on the join button. It's a great place to keep up with discussions in between Webinar Wednesdays. I'm pretty active in there myself, and there's some really amazing discussions going on in that group to help you progress your website forward. I do want to give a special shout out to Terry Farrell, who's in the webinar here today and also very active in the Facebook group. He's been super helpful in answering people's questions and providing good insights, tips, and strategies. So shout out to Terry, and thanks for joining in the webinar today. And for those joining us for the first time, again, welcome. Webinar Wednesday is a great venue to talk about marketing strategies to grow your membership website. You know, launching a website is easy. You can do it in just a few minutes if you really wanted to, but growing your community really does require some care and strategy. So some topics we like to cover in the webinars here are tips to increase your website traffic, how to convert website visitors and subscribers into paid members, also identifying revenue opportunities or how to actually target and pitch people within the industry that you're trying to target. One of my favorite on this list is how to improve your website's navigation. I'm a big advocate for simple navigation, clear calls to action, and funneling people to the areas of your site very neatly and cleanly so that you can have them complete the actions you want them to on their membership journey with you. So if you have questions on this stuff, please save them. We'll try to get to as many questions as possible in this webinar. And we created this slide in webinar 40. Now I think we're on 65 or so. We just want to always remind everyone not to get stuck on the hamster wheel. You are creating an online community, and after designing your website, you do need to think about things like member retention, marketing your site, getting feedback from members, marketing as far as driving traffic to your site. So you want to make sure that you're not stuck in one area of running your online community. You always want to spend some time, whether it's a few days or a few weeks, on one portion of your site and then make a plan to move on to something else. If you can continuously move and not get stuck on that hamster wheel in one section of your business, you're guaranteed to make traction overall throughout the year. So just a friendly reminder, most of us on the webinar here are one man or one woman shows running our online businesses, so it's important that we wear different hats and we keep the traction of our online communities moving forward. All right, we actually have a ton of updates. I only just chose a few of them here. One that's not listed here that some of the developers in this webinar would like to hear. We are moving our version of PHP from PHP 5 up to PHP 7, and with that will come a slew of speed and security updates on the platform. The team is just doing some troubleshooting, and we're looking probably in the next few weeks or few months, we will make that full migration to PHP 7, which is a good underlying core benefit for the platform overall. But I just want to focus on some of the lab updates here that I can share with you today. And I'll go through these rather quickly because we have a lot to share with you guys today. The first one is the ability to now bulk enable or bulk disable some of the custom forms on your site. So if you've customized some of the forms on your site because you wanted to add some unique form fields for your members to fill out, or modifying your contact us form, a good way for you to troubleshoot any issues is to enable or disable some of those custom forms, and now you can bulk enable and disable. Let me quickly show you where you'll be able to do that. Let me just go to the dashboard here. And we'll be adding more bulk actions throughout the year to different sections of the site. Just gives you a lot more control to quickly troubleshoot and work on your site and make some changes rather than going one by one. So we're going to continue with those updates. So your form manager is under your toolbox area, and if you click on form manager here, so on this site, for example, we have 34 customized forms. If you're not using a custom form, if you have 0 custom forms on your site, that is absolutely perfectly fine. It just means that your forms are powered by our default forms, which most sites are. But in the event you've made a change or two because you wanted to modify some of the fields, you can certainly do so. So if you wanted to troubleshoot an issue or kind of weed out or identify something quickly, is you can bulk select your forms. Scroll down, and then there's a bulk action here to delete the selected forms, enable or disable them. If you disable them, it will basically make the forms on the front end of your site fall back to using the default forms. All right, so that's pretty straightforward one there. This one I'm excited about, and I know actually Patrick from Project Pat recommended this one also. A lot of people upvoted it. We all know that we use the ability to stream recent members on the home page, and let's go ahead and do that on this site real quick. I think we have it right here, latest interior designers. This is just our demo site here. And up until now, all it would do is just stream the recent member signups on your site. It didn't matter what membership level they were, just any member that was a searchable member on the site would stream, which is really nice because it makes the homepage look nice. It keeps fresh content on there. People who recently joined feel special because now they're on your very important homepage. But what's really cool is we've added a feature where you can stream the recent members, but you can select which membership levels will be included in that stream of recent members. And let me show you where that is. So let's go back to the dashboard here. And this will be in your settings, and you want to toggle on over to design settings. Okay, great. Let's go to homepage layout. So first things first, in your homepage section order, we need to make sure that the show recent members right here, it's in section 6. One of these sections, you've selected the show recent members, which is fine. That's great. Let's toggle this closed. Then we want to go to right below this module is the options for the section order. So I'll toggle this open, and let me show you guys a really cool trick. Check this box here, and it'll only show the options for the section orders that you've enabled in the module up top. If you don't check this, it's fine. It just shows all the options. So this just helps you work a little more quickly. So in this case, I'm going to look at the recent members right here. Obviously, you can change the title of what shows on your homepage here, but this is the new setting here. Limit members shown to these products. Products are your membership levels, and you can go ahead and select them. So I'm just going to select our diamond members. I think on this website, we only have 2 diamond members as an example. So I'm just going to go ahead and check that and save the changes. And what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to open this in a new tab. So I'll just duplicate the tab. And let me refresh the page. We have 3 diamond members on this site. So now we're just seeing the diamond members. Let's see what the stream was before. So the stream previously included this Aaron Parker, Jennifer Cooper, John Smith, and David Swanson. Now we just have Jennifer Cooper, John Smith, and Stacy Hartwell. So these are just the 3 diamond members on the site. So one of the benefits of signing up to a premium membership level is for a period of time, they're going to get homepage exposure on your site. So you could be a little bit more selective of who and what type of membership levels show on the homepage streaming widgets. And we covered this in a previous webinar as well. You also have the option on how many people to show, how many results to show on a row. In this case, we're showing 2 in a row. Since we only have 3 in this case, let's put 3 in a row and a maximum of 3 results. And what's really cool is the system's going to automatically move these 3 people onto the same row for us here. Great. So you guys can take advantage of that now. You can decide which membership levels are showing in the recent members stream. This is another convenience tool, more for power users. The ability to, you could always import member categories, but now you can actually export them, make any changes you need to, and then import that same category list right into your site. So, we never recommend having thousands of categories, but some sites just have hundreds and thousands of categories, which is fine. And it could be very cumbersome and tedious to make one-off changes in the admin. So you can bulk export your categories and then re-import the same file. Let me quickly show you how that works. And your member categories aren't something you're going to be messing with too often. So this is probably will make it easier when you're just getting started to go back and forth if you're making minor or major adjustments. So you want to go to your member categories here. And there's a new button here, Export Categories, a new action. Let's go ahead and do so. And you can see here we have, in the background here, we have 3 top-level categories. What I'll do is I'll just export this list, and then I'll add a new top-level category and re-import the list. And what's really cool is it won't override any existing categories unless I choose to do so. So it'll just add to my existing list. So you can add sub-level categories if you need to and things like that. So let's look at this list here. All right, perfect. So here's my 3 top-level categories, their respective sub-level categories and their respective sub-sub-level categories. So let's add a new top-level category. Let's call this Top David. And let's add a sub-level to this. This is a top-level category that was there. Let's add a new one. So we'll call it new sub, just so we know which one it is. And I'll go ahead and save the changes. And let's re-import this. So here's the option where you can delete existing top-level and sub-level categories. In this case, I don't want to. I've just added records to my existing file. So I can browse my file, select it, and I can begin the import. So now you can see now it's added now I have a total of 4 top-level categories. It didn't mess with any of the existing ones, which is important because we don't want to skew the ID numbers. The ID numbers are really important, and that's how members are connected to their categories. But if I scroll down here, I now have that Top David one. And if you recall, we added this here to the new top level. We added new sub. Let's see how that works here. And here it is, new sub. So that's a helpful tool for everyone there. And
real quick,
yeah,
that's also a great tool if you have, or if you're launching multiple sites. Maybe they're all similar sites, but for different locations. For example, maybe you're launching restaurant reviews or local city guides, but for different locations, and you have different websites for each location. But you want to have those same general categories on each site. You can set it up on one site, export them, and then just import them on all the others to kind of streamline your setup process on those additional sites.
That's actually, yeah, that's a great recommendation. So if you're managing multiple sites, you can easily import and export your categories so they're uniform across sister sites that you're running. Good point there. So some things coming soon. 301 redirects. We all know that we can set them up in the admin. That's how you can force one page to redirect users to another page. Up until now, you could only create internal links. So you could only redirect people to internal links on your site. We're going to enable the ability to actually redirect people to external links. So as a simple example, like we do on our Brilliant Directories website, when you go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook, that will actually redirect you to Facebook's website. So you can set up redirects similar to this once we update this, and that is coming soon down the line. Something super cool that we mentioned in the Facebook group, an add-on is coming soon, the ability to highlight members in search results. And I think, David, we have a demo for this, right? I think I had it open on my computer here.
We do indeed.
All right. So this is still in development, but I got a little preview of it. Basically, what it's going to allow you to do with this add-on is highlight members in the search results based on their membership level. So these are those 3 diamond members we saw on the home page. So what you can do in the search results is give them a border, give them some text, or one or the other. You can remove the border and just have the text, or you can have a border with no text. So let me show you where these settings are going to be once they're enabled with the add-on. So it's based on a per membership level basis. So we want to go to the products on our site. And in this case, that was the diamond level we're looking at. I'll click on edit here. And it's going to be in the main tab, the general tab for this membership level. If you scroll down, you're going to have this module here, and you can turn it on or off for the membership level. But what you can do is it'll let you not have any text, so you could just highlight them with a border. You can have text if you want, like top seller, whatever's there. You do have control over the font size a bit, so it just depends how much text you're planning to use there. You can figure out what sizes work well for you. What's also really cool, and I like this, is you can have no border, or you can have like a really thick border, or you can basically control what you want. And in addition to that, if the border has a radius, which means rounded corners here, so we went from square to rounded, and you can choose how aggressive you want the rounded corners to be, or whatever matches the style of your current website. And then lastly, obviously, you can choose the colors that you need, so you can match your brand colors if you want to. Also, the text colors you can change if you really need to as well. We'll stick with white in this example. So let me go ahead and save the changes here. Okay, and I'll just refresh the page. Let me refresh the cache real quick. Oops.
While we're refreshing that, we got one question. Vincent asks if it's possible to have just that outline and not have that sash across the profile picture.
Yeah, if you just remove the text, it will remove the text there, so it'll just be the sash outline there.
Beautiful.
All right, let's see if this saves. Again, this is still in development. I'm just trying to see why the text is saving, and that's not. There we go. So yeah, in this case, the sash wouldn't be there, but let's put it there for now. And we'll show you guys what it looks like on mobile devices as well. So let's see if that text gets saved there pretty quickly. Yeah, see, the text is saving. So it works in grid view also. So if you're using the grid view on your site, you can really see how dramatic this makes your site. You'll obviously use text that connects with the industry that you're serving and things like that. But this is great if you want to give temporary sponsored placement. If you want to sell this spot to people and give them that sash, this is now a product that you could make it a product that you sell to put people at the top of the results with the sash and the tag to really make them stand out. And then on mobile, what we're doing is it's hard to put the sash across their face on mobile. Let me get rid of this X here. So what we're doing is we're moving the text above, right outside the box there, so it doesn't cover their faces. Otherwise, the sash is just too invasive over the photo there. So that will be the mobile view there. And let me do one more thing with this example, David. Let's add to these members here. Let's update something for them. So let's go back so we can see what it looks like when you do 2 membership levels like this. So we'll do the premium trusted members, and it's disabled for them right now. And let's make them featured and save the changes. Okay. Great. So you can have different types of sashes. Again, it's based on the membership level. So you can have nothing for the membership level. You can have just a border, or you can have the sash with the border. All right, great. We'll keep you guys posted in the Facebook group as things progress with that add-on. This is one for helping to combat spam a bit. We're soon releasing the ability to search members by their IP address, and I'll show you what we mean. If you go to your search members page in the admin area, There are IP addresses associated with either their last login and in some cases their join IP address. So if you notice that maybe a listing company is taking advantage of your free signups, with just a couple clicks, you can search for the IP address here, and then what you can do is select all those results and do a bulk delete. So just in a few clicks, you can thwart and get rid of any unwanted signups based on the IP address. And probably if you do that a few times, whoever's doing it will definitely be discouraged from taking advantage of the free member sign up on your site. And this one's been requested a few times. I know Eric and Jeff in the Facebook group have been asking about this one. It's the ability to filter posts in the admin by the date that it was created, or the last edit, or the publish or start date, or the expire or end date. So that is coming down the line as well. You'll be able to view your posts in the admin area, and it will include the information based on some of that date data. And then you will be able to filter as well. So looking forward to that one coming out soon. So those are just a few lab updates. There's a lot more coming down the line, and we will definitely keep you guys posted as new features are released. All right, let's dive into this next amazing segment. Tips by Dennis. Some or many of you have maybe interacted or spoken with Dennis, who is on the customer success side and helping customers with pre-sales questions. And Dennis, there's no doubt, let me unmute your microphone here, that you've heard over 1,000,001 questions from potential customers and existing customers. So we wanted to get some tips and ideas for success from you here, Dennis. So welcome to the webinar.
Hey, Jason, thanks so much. It's great to be here again the second time. It's always a fun time to be a part of them or just to watch and listen in. So it's been some great tips today. And yeah, definitely. I've heard 1,000,001 questions, 1,000,001 different ways. And it's great. It's always fun to hear a challenging question. And, you know, a lot of the time BD has a lot of those things or can make it work. That's what's really neat about what we do here. So, you know, I'll start with the first 3 helpful articles that I've seen. These are ones that, with these articles, why I picked these are ones that are good to reference, good to, even if you're a brand new person or if you're someone who's already been working on your site, or if you're showing BD to a potential client or just want to brush up on more information. So they're very versatile. The first one is probably the most popular one, 25 secrets for a successful directory website. Now, if you take a look at this, they really just start at the top there and they go down. I mean, you'll see some of the best ones here are like picking a simple company name, choosing a domain name that's catchy. It should be easy to remember, not confusing, right? Number 3, like, you know, picking a slogan. You know, these are just great tips for anybody with any online website, but we focus them towards having a directory site. So take a look at these. We'll put the links here in the chat there for questions. Yep. I think this is a good one to brush up. Thanks, David. This is a good one to brush up on at any time. Bookmark this, share it with your friends. You know, I like that last one. It's really good. Don't be stubborn. You know, it's good to be open-minded, accept criticism constructively, and be nimble and adjust as needed. A lot of people worry in the beginning of launching their website that if they don't know everything in the beginning, that's it. They can't make a change or an edit. It's stuck as a rock. And, you know, just it says right here, be nimble, make changes as needed, and don't worry about it. You can always upgrade and change things as you go along and as you grow.
What I like about this list is some of it is practical, like using high quality images, and a lot of it is emotional or cerebral, like don't let others bring you down. Because, you know, again, it's when you're working on your own, you got to keep yourself motivated. And so there's some really good tips in here, both for practical and emotional motivation.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. Let's see the second one, 5 ways to close more sales. Take a look at this and then we'll jump on to the other one. So this is a great one here. This was actually pulled out from, let me just see, here it is. Yeah, 5 ways to close more sales. This was actually pulled out from a segment of the webinar Wednesday 38. It was recorded over a year ago, and it still stands to be a great webinar to reference back. You know, so these 5 steps are: number 1, defining a problem and a pain point. Number 2, explain a solution to relieve the problem. 3, having an unbeatable offer, and also, you know, having a guarantee on your product that you're offering to people. And number 4, a sense of urgency and limited supply. And number 5, clear steps and a simple call to action of what people are looking for and what they get. So this is a great one to reference to, especially if you're constructing a business model or just wanted to sharpen the edge of your sword with your sales pitch. I would definitely reference back to this. It came from one of the webinars. I get a lot of good feedback when I share this one.
What I like about this one, Dennis, is it's basically how to craft a good offer. And what's helpful about this one is you can do this for your pre-launch. So if you're still setting up your site or figuring out what you're going to do, you can still use these strategies in your pre-launch. And even after you launch, when you're making offer number 2 and 3 to people who are already members and subscribers of your tribe, you can figure out new ways to create offers. And if you just follow kind of the strategies to create those irresistible offers, it's a foolproof way to get people interested, excited, and to increase conversions as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
All right, and you chose a third article here that you thought would be helpful. Five ways free members can add value to a site, right? And not all sites have free memberships, but for those who do, this was a good article.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Actually, this one, I got to give a shout out to the editor on this one. It was actually Patrick Brunel was the author and editor from Project Pat. He's been on many of the webinars, so you can take a look at this, and he had some good tips on this one. And thankfully, I've been able to use this one a lot as a great asset. So when you're looking at this one, 5 reasons why free members should sign up and what adds value. Like Jason said, not every site is going to have free members. Some people use that as a strategy to get just a population on their website or to kind of release the tension of paying for things as they're first joining or getting their idea off the ground. Obviously, like the first one here, it tells you, your membership database will populate faster just by building a population, having people in your site when they do a search. If you don't start with a list of people already, if you don't pre-populate your site, you can upgrade those free people at a later time. So obviously, once you have somebody in there that has joined for free, you get an email address, you get a phone number, you have so many opportunities to be able to upsell or sell that person products or services. So you have that person as a potential client and customer. And number 3 is, free members that they also help advertise your directory. They could either be sharing it on social media, they could just be telling their friends, or they're just helping your site build its popularity as well. So that's a great one there, great point. Number 4, free members create content and make your website active. So free members, either whether you allow them to post blog articles, videos, have photo albums, post ads, post classifieds, they're creating content for your website that's unique. Google really loves that, and the search engines do, because it's real content being created on your website, and that actually is good for your members as well. It makes them excited to use it when they have those type of products available. And number 5, if they're not with you, they're going to your competitor. It's good to have that option. If this is the case, if you're in this target here, if they're not going with you, they're going to other options. There is a lot of definitely options, and every industry is going to be different. So if you have a free option available for them to either even do a free trial or just to try out a free listing for a month, free trial is an add-on that we have that makes it easy for people to join. They may go to other options. So it's good to have something available for people to test it out and see what it's like to join your website.
And one more comment. It might not be that they're signing up as a free searchable member on your directory, but perhaps you can have free ways where people can subscribe to your product or service, whether it's through the newsletter, from a general user account that's not searchable on the website. So just building your list through methods that allow people to register their email for free. It could be in exchange for an ebook or some type of lead magnet. We've also talked about that in previous webinars. Anything where you're trading their email address for free in exchange for access or information, those are also valid ways to build your list and gain free members or free subscribers.
Right on. You're right.
All right, so those are awesome articles. I shared all of them in the chat here, in the GoToWebinar chat, so you should have received those 3 links. And then, Dennis, you also talked to a lot of people, and when people are starting their sites, obviously getting the site online, and if you want to stand up your site and publish it as quickly as possible so Google can start indexing it. But you've mentioned to me and to other people 3 tools to help stay in touch with any prospective members, especially in the early stages of launching. So what are these 3 tools that you've selected for us here?
Yeah, the 3 top tools that I've selected here are number 1, a free Google Voice number. We have some more information on how you can acquire that. Google Voice, we'll pull that up. It's I believe it's a wiki, or you can go to Google Voice right there. Basically, Google, if you create a free Gmail account, you then automatically have access to create a free VoIP number. And what that means is you have a free phone number that you can use domestically. They do it different for every country. A free phone number that you can use to receive and make phone calls and also send text messages, receive voicemails. A lot of people want to keep their lifestyle or just their life, business and personal separate. So this is a great way to do that. So you know when a call is coming in that it's coming in for business. And this works remotely over Wi-Fi. They also have an app, and it's free to start using it. There is some paid subscriptions through them that you can look into, but to use this and get a number that you can add to your website to be your business number is completely free. And I know a lot of people are using it, a lot of clients and customers that have mentioned it, and people like it because it goes right to your inbox with any messages, text messages, or missed calls.
And what's also cool is, so you have your mobile number, your personal number. You can set up your Google Voice for business, and when people call it, it'll ring your cell phone, your personal cell phone. But if you miss the call, this is the best part. It's going to play the voicemail greeting from your Google Voice, the business side, rather than your personal voicemail. So people can contact you on your mobile device, your personal one, but if you miss that call, they'll get the voicemail for the business. So you don't need to pay for an alternate business line, especially when you're first getting set up.
Yeah, I think this is a great starter tool to really keep on a slim budget, to keep things really low for you when you're first getting going, because it's so easy to use too.
So that's for phone calls.
Yeah.
What's Calendly for scheduling, and why would
So,
that be important to a website owner?
this Calendly is a great tool, okay, for scheduling. And they actually are free to start using them. They have a completely free option. They also have a paid option. What Calendly does is it connects you and someone who's looking to schedule a time or book a call with you from any side of the world. We use this all the time here ourselves, a similar type of tools. I have a lot of clients that have been using it, people who are consultants, people who are professionals, that they take a lot of phone calls and they want to be able to organize their day. What Calendly allows you to do, and if Jason, if you want to go to my Calendly, brilliantdentist.com, I've actually just forwarded a URL to go there, so it can just be easy for people. They give you a free link, but you can just forward a URL to their page. And what this does is now someone can go to my page, they can see the times that are available, and they can click a time and book a call. It even handles the time zone that they come from via their IP address. If you scroll down, you can see like Pacific time zone. And what it'll do is it'll send a reminder for that person who's booking a call of the available times, and it'll send a reminder to the owner of the calendar to call that person. It even does text message reminders. You can have additional guests and emails. You can put their name, info in there. So it really prepares you for the call, and it sends reminders. You can set, the dates of how soon you want the reminders to be. And you'll see that this will save a lot of time in going back and forth trying to find a time that works for someone. We know everyone's busy. They have other calls and things going on, and this will definitely be a tool that saves a lot of time to book those calls with each other.
And there's a lot of free tools to schedule and make appointments. Even Google Calendar has it. What I like about Calendly is it's you can customize it. You can change these fields that you're asking information. It really does have that. Even their free plan has that really high level professional touch when you're trying to schedule or book a time. And then also the reminders. So it'll add it to their calendar and your calendar, and it'll automatically send reminders based on the settings that Dennis or you set up for your Calendly account. And most important with this, there is a free option that comes with plenty of features. And what you should do as a new website owner, or you're just starting your community, people will have questions. It could be advertisers, it could be prospective members, and it's a great way to put out a lifeline for them to reach out to you and increase the chances of converting them to a paid sign up, because you've simply opened the lines of communication with this extra level here.
Right on. And one other thing is it's very secure. It goes straight to your Gmail, so people really appreciate that as well.
Nice. I love this calendar here. You've set these times up here of your availability, right, Dennis?
Yeah, I selected the availability that works best. You can do it for different days or different time zones. You can block days that you're not available. So it really gives you some good structure there to be able to follow. So you can kind of tell people like, hey, this is the times, go ahead and select it here. You can even text message people your link and they can do it over mobile, which is super helpful.
And then last thing, Dennis, you've controlled what the names or topics of the meetings are. So in this case, you called it friendly phone Q&A. Someone could call it like free membership consultation or whatever makes sense for their industry.
That's right. Yeah, that'd be a great idea, like free listing setup, right? So it could be any of those different types of names.
Love it. Because lots of
Yeah,
versatility here if you start getting
yeah.
creative. And the last tool you thought was helpful to stay in touch is actually one of the BD add-ons, the Facebook website chat.
Oh yeah, yeah. The website chat is a very, very popular one. So the Facebook website chat, what that's going to allow people to do is obviously have a Facebook website chat right on their homepage. And what this will do for you and your members is you're really going to build a connection and a trust with people who are visiting your site, especially if you're new. When you're new building your website, you want to talk to as many people as possible, get feedback, get answer questions about how it all works, and basically be there for the people, right? So this will give your website a pulse. It'll also show that you have an online presence in other places just in your site. It goes directly to your Facebook, so you can see also where they're chatting from, who's chatting with you. It also works in the apps, right, in the Pages Manager. So it's a great way and easy tool to be able to communicate with the people visiting your website.
I think the highest value for this is actually two things. One, you can connect with people on Facebook after they chat with you because obviously they're chatting from their Facebook profile when they're on your site. And number two is you can take it on the go for you because Facebook has the Messenger app that you can put on your phone. So as long as you're not asleep in your bed, you can just look at your phone. It's just like getting a text message, and you can be chatting with people who have questions about your product or service or community right there in real time.
Sorry to cut in real quick, but we're getting some questions about Calendly, so I just wanted to mention those real quick. Calendly actually does have the ability to be embedded into your website. So if you didn't want to email your calendar link to your members or your potential members, you can always embed your calendar right on your site, maybe on a static page somewhere, and then people can schedule a meeting with you that way.
That's awesome. Yeah, that makes it really easy.
Awesome. Looks like they have documentation on that. I'll also I've been copying and pasting all these links into the chat here for everyone. So I'll just call this one a Calendly embed tool.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. Like maybe on your contact us page on your BD website, you have a contact us page. You can add this embed tool so people can schedule times with you right there as well.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Dennis, thank you so much. The articles are awesome. The tools are super helpful. I love that there's those free options there, especially for people getting started. So thanks for taking the time to join us, and can't wait for you to join us in the next webinar.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Have a great one, guys.
All right. Well, we heard it there from the master. There's no one else that talks to more directory and community website owners than Dennis. I know that as a fact, and it's great to have Dennis here on our team and on the webinars for sure. So thanks a lot, Dennis. All right, we got it's very straightforward but really powerful tip of the week. David took some time to put these notes together for us, and customer retention and member retention are super valuable. It costs a lot of money to acquire a member and acquire a customer, so we want to make sure that we're reducing churn and we're reducing membership cancellation. So we put together a simple list of 6 ways to reduce member cancellations. You might already be utilizing some of these tips, and you might realize some new ideas here too. And after this, we'd love to hear some ideas and strategies that you use actively to help reduce member cancellations and keep their interest. So David, tell us a little bit about why you thought this topic was important for this webinar here today.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time on a lot of our previous webinars talking about how to increase member signups, what's the best kind of pricing plan to offer. So we talk a lot about actually getting new people signed up on your site, but we haven't spent a whole lot of time, or at least an equal amount of time, focused on what you can do to actually keep those people signed up on your site and reduce the number of cancellations that you receive per month. So hopefully these tips can be utilized by all of you out there. They're pretty universal, and they should be able to work regardless of what your target industry is or your pricing structure, any of that sort of stuff.
So we did some research and we found some fun facts about monthly membership plans, at least for businesses joining to be part of directory websites or services that provide premium content access or some type of membership plan for B2B, for a business to join a site. And we found that the average monthly payment is generally $50 per month. What we also found was the average number of cycles that a member will stay on is about 4 to 6 months before they cancel their membership. So when we average that out, the customer lifetime value, the average value or revenue you'll generate from a single customer is $200. And the number one reason for cancellations is over time, two things actually. They'll either lose interest or they don't see value in your product or service anymore because they've received it all on the front end of their membership. And it actually becomes a hamster wheel to kind of continuously add value to members, especially if they're after premium content and things like that. And we've also found out that members actually do prefer paying yearly if there's a benefit with some type of a savings. Nobody here, especially in this webinar, likes seeing monthly bills, every 30 days. Especially if you're not sure of the product or service that you're receiving has that much value. But you are more likely to appreciate and not worry about a yearly payment. You're covered for the full 12 months. And if you're getting a higher value with that yearly payment compared to the monthly payment, customer satisfaction generally is a little higher. And people aren't looking at their bills every month thinking, do I need this or do I not need this? So offering a competitive yearly price is something that you may want to consider in your pricing mix.
Another point to add in there is, especially now with all of the monthly memberships that we have, there's been a lot of studies going on, with your Netflix monthly membership, maybe your gym membership, a few other entertainment monthly fees that you're paying. They all really start to add up. So if you're going to be offering a monthly membership option, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure that you have enough value in there so that it's clear to the member that what they're paying for, they're getting in return, if not more. Otherwise, like Jason said, you can go ahead and push that yearly option, which really makes that decision a lot easier on the potential member.
That's right. And again, a lot of this depends on if you're B2C, marketing to consumers, or B2B. Each one has their different price points and tipping points for when they want to start or stop paying for certain services. But with these 6 tips here, you should be able to help reduce membership cancellations just a bit here. So Dave, tell us about this first one about providing premium content.
Yeah, so this kind of goes back into that, making it clear the value that your website has. So there's many different ways that you can provide value to your members. Ultimately, this depends on your target industry and what your members are looking for in return. But some ideas are some valuable resources that could mean consistently posting articles about news in the target industry, or tips and resources and tricks, new ideas, maybe some guidelines on whatever it is your members are looking for. You can provide courses, whether that be an ebook with the recently released digital downloads add-on, maybe video courses. You can just embed YouTube videos in your site. That goes along with content and some written articles. But there's various different ways that you can provide premium content. Of course, with Brilliant Directories, as you all most likely know by now, there's a lot of different forms of content that you can provide to your members and that you can allow your members to share within the community. So it depends on the target industry, but there's a lot of different avenues to go down, just as long as that premium content is delivered on a relatively consistent basis.
Right. I think you touched on it. Netflix is like the obvious example. You're paying for access to stream premium content, movies and TV shows. So members will pay for access to premium information or products. And this is something Brilliant Directories does really well, is connecting your members with potential customers. If you can provide your paying members with quality leads, there's multiple ways for visitors to get in touch with members, or indirect ways where they can fill out a lead form and it'll get matched with members who are within that category or location. Members will happily stay members if they continue to receive potential leads from your site. And what I like to do, if you are providing leads or referrals to your members, or whatever you're using for the term, is have a page that is a resource page about your guidelines for leads, what they can expect from your leads. If you're charging them for leads, let them know that there's some kind of maybe a refund, no questions asked refund policy. Sometimes they'll pay for a lead and the information wasn't good, or they didn't even get a chance to pitch the person. But if they see your site as a resource where you're feeding their business with potential customers, they're going to want to stay on your community. And also with that, you might not be offering leads, but their profile on your website or their position on your website, similar how we talked about putting the sash badges for certain members on your search results pages, they do want to be featured, and they will continue to pay if you can help increase their online visibility, or at least their visibility on your website. And actually in this webinar, we talked about 2 ways, featuring recent members on your homepage based on their membership level, and then that add-on that's coming soon to highlight members in the search results. So just remember, members will pay when you connect them with customers in one way or another, and that will help reduce cancellations. And this one requires a little bit of work, but Dave, tell us about staying top of mind with your community.
Yeah, ultimately what you want to do with regards to this third tip is to kind of just stay relevant. You want people to consistently be reminded that your website exists. Maybe they're not receiving a lot of leads, or they're not constantly visiting your website to see what new content you've posted. Well, you can still remain relevant in their lives, throughout their workday by maybe, for example, showing up in their inbox through an email newsletter. You can also host contests to keep people interested. Maybe a contest or a giveaway can last, over a month or 2. And over that month or 2, you have your members partake in different tasks. That keeps them interested and keeps your website relevant, at least for that length of time. And then, of course, there's the social media route. Being active on social media, making sure that your members are aware that your directory does have a presence online on social media and that they should be following you. But I think the newsletters, especially in a B2B context, might be the best way to go. And with that, it doesn't need to be anything special really. If you're already publishing relevant content consistently, you can just throw that into the newsletter, kind of have like a weekly update. Put maybe your 3 most interesting or best performing pieces of content from that week inside the newsletter. Maybe give a tip relevant to the industry, or a small little tidbit, and then send that off to your members. And that'll keep you relevant and top of mind to them.
What I really like is recycling content that your members have contributed to your site, or highlighting and spotlighting certain members on your website, and then including those in your social media, a blog post, or in a newsletter. Couple reasons that's good is, 1, it gives you a reason to stay top of mind because you have content that you can share with your community. But also it's a lead by example situation. So the members that are contributing the best content on your site get the best visibility because you're showcasing them as someone who you're showcasing their article or their event or their coupon code or whatever it might be. And they'll feel special, and then other members on your community would want to be featured in future communications as well. So keep in mind that you can always repurpose the content your members are adding, or just turn your members' profiles into the news of the week, that so and so has joined our site. We're happy that you've joined us. You've been in business for 20 years. And just start a conversation around that. So staying top of mind, at the end of the day, members trust a company that have a pulse and that are active and current, and that will reduce member cancellations. Here's a fun one. Don't let them cancel on their own. So there is a method where members can log into their member dashboard and request to cancel their accounts. What you can do is remove that button and redirect them to your Contact Us page, or maybe you want to clone your Contact Us form and repurpose it for a potential cancellation, but you want to intercept them before they actually cancel their memberships. And it's not that you want to hold them hostage, but at least require them to contact you in order to cancel. And that will give you an opportunity, one, to gain feedback about why they're canceling. So potentially you can improve your product or service for the future. And you can potentially throw them a life raft, and you can offer them an option to keep them on board. It could be at a reduced price. It could be switching them from a monthly to a yearly term. It could be offering them a certain number of months free, and maybe going the extra mile and helping them realize how they can best take advantage of the services from your website. But the idea here is to not let them cancel on their own. Again, we don't want to hold them hostage and make it hard, but at least one touch back and forth to gain some feedback and provide them with an offer that can help potentially keep them on board with your community.
Yeah, I think while going this route does give you the opportunity to save that cancellation, I think the biggest benefit from it is the opportunity to receive that high quality feedback. You're not going to be able to make everybody happy. You will always have some level of cancellations. So at least going this route, you'll be able to capitalize on those cancellations, get some valuable feedback, and find out how you can improve in the future to further reduce those numbers of cancellations.
And what I personally like to do is, if you have paying members and they're canceling, and if you have this interaction with them, make an Excel sheet and save the reasons people are canceling. And over time, whether if it's a few months or each year, you can look at that list and find ways to improve your product or service based on that feedback that you gain. So yeah, I agree with you. That feedback is invaluable because it's going to, one person was upset because of, X, Y, or Z, but because of that feedback, you can make, dozens and dozens and dozens of other people happy within your community by fixing that problem.
And later on down the line, they might revisit your site, recognize that you've made some changes, you've corrected whatever it was that they disliked previously, and you might be able to get them back in the future.
Absolutely. When people cancel a service, they don't forget about the service. They probably always keep one eye to see if there's any improvements or changes or things that are more in line with what they were looking for. Could be a feature was missing and now you offer it in the future. So definitely want to make sure you keep the good rapport with them. You want to thank them for their feedback, thank them for the time they spent in your community, whether it's one day or 1 year or whatever, and just make sure you keep good rapport with them, because the chances are that they may be back visiting you again very soon, and that will help reduce cancellations. Here's a fun one, and we're big advocates of helping your members complete their profile. So when you're invested in your online profile, whatever it might be, it could be your Facebook profile, it could be your Netflix avatar, your MySpace account, your SoundCloud account, whatever it is, when you've taken the time and invested in your profile with regards to making it polished, adding a profile photo, filling out all the required fields, adding content such as your events, articles, blog posts, whatever you're adding, your logo, you become a little more emotionally invested in that profile, in that community, and you're going to have second thoughts before you choose to pull the cord and quit the community. So it's harder to leave when members have invested time in their profiles. And as the community owner, you send emails asking if they need help setting up their profiles. You can turn it into a positive thing. I know a lot of people with the digital downloads, they're going to offer a service with profile setup and optimization to help their members set up their profiles. Because once a business or a person sees a polished profile online, it's a pride of ownership almost, and it's going to be a little harder for them to make that decision to leave. So you can let them do it on their own, setting up their profiles, or give them a helping hand. But once they've added all their photos and whatnot, they're going to think twice about leaving. And if they haven't added those things, it's definitely a no-brainer. If they're not seeing value, they'll just leave without even thinking twice about it. So keep in mind that helping your members complete their profiles will also ultimately help reduce cancellations over time. It'll minimize that percentage of cancellation requests. And Dave, take us home with number 6 here.
Yeah, so this touches on the member profile badges add-on. Think of the blue verified checkmark on Twitter, or Instagram also has it. YouTube, I think, also has it for like official channels of verified brands. But you can essentially bring that verification over to your website. Whether or not you use it in terms of showing that a certain profile has been verified, or you use it for showing, making the premium listing stand out above the free listings, having that accolade, that special badge that few other people on your website have, makes those members feel more of an attachment to their listing and thus to your website. So it's a way to add an emotional connection between your members and your website.
Now here's a tip on how to use this. So we all have our membership levels, and the way this really becomes valuable is 2 ways. One is you can provide a badge on their profile that says they're awesome, or they're trusted, or they're verified. Another way to just inherently do it, because they might not be upgrading themselves or upgrading their profiles, is give them badges for the amount of time they've been on your site. So let's say you have a free membership level, and then you clone that membership level and you call it, and let me go to a site here to show you an example. So you have a free membership level. All right, interior designer contributor. So let's say you clone this, and just watch what I'm about to do here, Dave. So here's it, and we're going to call this something to the effect. Now this isn't perfect, but 6 month, 6+. So they've been a member of the site for 6+ months, right? So you upgrade them to this level, and these members that are been members of your site for at least 6 months, they can get a special badge. You can upload a profile badge here. This is with the badge add-on here. You can upload an image, and they won't even know it, but you're going to upgrade them to the free membership level that they've been a 6-month member. And so what you can do is you create this membership level, and what you can do is search your members by join date. So we could go 6 months back, and just search for all the members that month that joined in December as an example, and we can do a search, and then we can change the product. So we select all those members that joined in that month, and we're going to change the product, which is the membership level, and we can upgrade all of them to that 6-month free membership level that has that special badge. So the next time they come to your site, they don't even know what hit them. They're just going to see that they now have this special badge, and it's just because of time. And when something is related to the amount of time you've been on something, you can't reverse that or anything. You have to start fresh each time. So if they cancel your site, they're going to lose that special badge and maybe some other perks that come with that membership level just for being a little seasoned on your site as a member. So you can definitely add a little bit of gamification here, or creating some level of value just for the amount of time that they've been on their site. And you can obviously email them once a month, all your 6-month members. I'm just using it as a hypothetical example. But with this badge, again, people like to feel special, and they'll stick around longer if you can help them, make them feel special. And the amount of time they've been on your site and giving them a badge as an award, will definitely help assist with that. And that will help reduce member cancellations.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think a good way to add a creative twist to this add-on is to kind of think about the old online message boards and forums that were extremely popular maybe 5, 10, 15 years ago. Oftentimes, the members of those forums, they'd get special badges based on not only how long they've been a member of the message board for, but also if they were a top contributor. Or things like that, if they were a valued member of the community. So adding unique badges like you see here, Elite Author, Power Elite Author, Bundle Boss. Granted, these are targeted for this company and what it is they're offering, but it really adds a creative twist to it. It amplifies that gamification aspect of it, and it really makes everybody a little bit more unique throughout your directory.
So what I was coming here to show you that you can actually just purchase badge icons. There's a ton of them here on this site. I'm just gonna share this link. This is a site called Graphic River by Envato, and let me just copy this here into the chat. So you can just find like a badge set that matches the style of your site, and then create a page on your site, a resources page that explains what each of the badges are, how they relate to the membership levels, and some of the perks and benefits that people who have those badges have on your site. So again, it's just a way to make things come alive a little bit more, and again, make them feel special as you graduate them up with the badge levels. Well, Dave, thanks for putting this presentation together. Definitely some good value here and some ideas. Maybe this stimulated additional ideas with some of the viewers today on how they can keep their members engaged in their community. All right, guys, let's switch gears here a bit. Let's answer some questions that you might have about your community website. All right, Ted's got his hand up again. Let's give you another shot here. Ted, how you doing today?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can. Where are you calling in from, Ted?
I'm in southeast Michigan, north of Detroit a little bit.
You know what? I'm normally in Los Angeles. I am in Michigan as well.
Oh, where at?
Let's see. I don't know the city I'm in, to be honest. It's near Bloomfield and those areas.
Okay, well, we're not too far from there.
Yeah. All right. Great. How'd you like the webinar so far today?
It's really good. And we're in the process of looking at this directory business as a niche to our business, and I've been reviewing a number of different directory platforms, yours included, and you impressed me so far. We don't actually have a site yet, but we're planning it. And one of my questions is if you have any suggestions about attracting advertisers. We'll be in a niche that will really require advertisers to support the site rather than paid members.
So I have a few tips for you. If you're going to have advertisers, it means you need to have traffic or eyeballs visiting the site.
Sure.
Here's a tip. Don't think of your site as a directory of business listings. What you need to do is it has to be a community with a mission and a purpose that people can get behind, both the free subscribers and the potential advertisers as well. The more specific your mission and your purpose for the industry you're serving, because you got to stand for something. You can't just be a search these professionals. It's been one and done a million times over.
Sure.
So you need to find a niche, even a niche within a niche, because when you have a niche website, one, it's easy to sell the mission because it's very specific. It's for a very specific individual. It's not for a broader audience. So you want to make sure you stay away from making your site everything for everyone. That's the biggest mistake that I can see is trying to be everything for everyone. So be more specific. Cater your site to the consumers. Advertisers will see that your site caters to the end user, and then they're going to want to get in the mix somehow. So for example, let's go to Yelp. Let's look at one of the 800-pound gorillas in the room here. everything is geared towards creating that free consumer experience, right? In this case, they're searching for business listings. In your case, it could just be an informational website, with information, but everything is for the consumer here. You have to scroll all the way down to the bottom because businesses are going to figure out, okay, how do I advertise on Yelp? I want to be here. So it's not the main focus. So don't create blog articles or content that appeals to the advertisers. Make sure you're appealing to the end user. And then the advertisers are smart enough and savvy enough to want to get in the mix, get a banner on your site, have a featured blog post, send a press release to your community, do a sponsored email blast to your community. So gear your website towards the end user, and then create materials such as media kits and advertising decks that will cater towards the advertisers and make them available to them.
Well, we understand, and you're right on. We understand the business. We're more or less looking at this as a magazine, which has to have specific content, niche content, and that's how it supports itself. And my question was more like when you're starting out, you have to be a little more proactive, I think, in getting advertisers. You can't just wait for people to see your site and then look for advertising opportunities. And I just wondered if you had any specific recommendations for being more proactive.
Yeah, so what you want to do in that case is you probably have a category of advertisers in mind that would potentially want to advertise in your industry, correct?
Correct.
Okay, create a secondary product where you can start getting their email addresses. So let's say you want to get the interest of, I don't know, companies that make auto parts, right, or whatever it might be. Create a secondary product that they're going to want to trade their email address for that ebook or that piece of information, that nugget of information that you're giving, some secret sauce about industry best practices, something that you can offer to them in the meantime while you're building out your website. So essentially you have two campaigns running. A simple product that you're offering in exchange for a potential advertiser's email address. You're not asking them to advertise yet. You're just creating a list of potential advertisers for the future. And then you'll be building out the content on your website in the meantime. And once you feel satisfied with the level of content and subscribers you have on your website, that list that you've been creating using that secondary product or lead magnet for the potential advertisers, then you're going to hit them and say, hey, we have a community of 10,000 X, Y, and Z subscribers. This is your chance to reach out to them, this and that. So create that secondary product, that lead magnet that is specifically designed for the advertiser side of your marketplace.
Well, something just clicked when you were talking. You gave me a great idea, which would be maybe an e-book or a document that helped our potential advertisers understand better ways to reach their target market, which is who our site is geared for.
Absolutely. So it can be a positive thing. It could be a negative thing. 9 reasons you're failing and your competitors, whatever it is. But that secondary asset is what you can use in the meantime and run a campaign for to start getting the email addresses while you're doing the launch on your real website.
Yeah, because really, in a site like this, we have 2 customers. So it's kind of a double marketing challenge in a way.
That's right. And, Patrick from Project Pat and the Directory Gurus talks about this often, about that secondary product. The question is, Ted, which came first, the chicken or the egg? The end user or the business listings? The key is it doesn't matter. You just have to start. You have to pick one and create that secondary product so you can start building that list. Once you have a list on that side of the marketplace, then you can bait the other side and tell them, hey, we have X, Y, and Z subscribers, and then you can marry them together and make that website that creates that online marketplace for both sides of the market.
Well, you gave me a great idea. Thank you very much.
All right, Ted.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, good luck with your topic and your project, and thanks for joining the webinar.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good stuff there. Yeah, Ted's doing his research. Sounds like he already has an existing community, and he's looking to expand it with building an online membership directory. So that's great to hear. Let's see who else has their hands up here. All right, we got our good friend Eric. Eric, how you doing today?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. We missed you in a few of the webinars. How's everything going over there?
Oh, good. I was traveling through your neck of the woods in California for a while, and just trying to take it easy.
Okay, good stuff. What's your question for us today?
Yeah. I really wanted to thank you guys for the little updates that you do all the time. They're always pretty useful and helpful. So, with the monthly change logs and whatnot. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, the updates are really nice, and the information on retaining customers is helpful. I actually just lost, well, I was trying to get one and couldn't get their business, and they confirmed that today. So, there's always something else that we can be doing.
Absolutely. All right, good stuff there. Actually, Eric brings up a good point about there's actually a 7th point we could add to this to reduce member cancellations. Problems are opportunities. So if a member's having my photo won't upload, or something's going haywire with their listing, or something happened where they were double billed, or some problem with your site, that's a great opportunity to reach out to someone when, one, they're feeling a little emotional, they're a little uncertain about your service. That's a perfect opportunity to show them that you care, to delight them with some good customer service. Those are going to be, those things happening are very rare. So taking the extra step, tip number 7 here, bonus tip, is reach out to people when they're having a hard time with your site, or need a little bit of extra help, and they're going to remember that because they were in an emotional state, and you basically provided them some help with a lifeline, and they're going to remember that, and you'll probably turn them into a member for life because they feel like you've created a special relationship with them. So whenever there's a problem, keep your cool, stay professional, and help them remedy the situation, and you can turn that problem into a really good opportunity to create some loyalty from a potential member. So don't shy away when the things happen. Things will always happen. The world isn't perfect. Just how we react to those, and either perpetuate the issue, or if we can help resolve it and land the plane with the potential member. All right, let's see who else has their hand up here. I see our good friend Lisa's got her hand up. Hey Lisa, how you doing today?
Hey Jason, good. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining in on the webinar here.
Cool. I was asking, one, if there was a place where we could grab everybody else's site and just look what they've been doing. People would be interested in doing that if we gave permission to you to post our site somewhere so that we could all learn from each other's sites.
That's actually a really good tip here. We do have in our Facebook group, there's actually a pretty healthy post here. It's actually the first one here. It says, can people share their websites? And there's over 231 comments. You can toggle this open, and you got to keep clicking the view previous comments. But this is in our Facebook group if you're a member of it. And there's tons of people who have shared their sites here.
Okay, cool. I have a second database, and I kind of want to use it more as a company intranet. Do you have any suggestions on how best to do that?
Yes. So you're going to want to use the members only plugin. Let me get that for you here. Just a second. So what you can do with this is you can lock down, you can basically make your homepage the login page, kind of how Facebook is. Like when you go to facebook.com, it asks you to log in straight away.
Okay.
Or you can register. Now, if it's a company intranet, maybe you want to remove the registration because the owner of the company is going to be adding all the employee accounts and whatnot. But that way, your site is totally locked down, and only people who have access will be able to access it. And also, to take it a step further, this even lets you, like, only managers can search other employees, like employee members can't search employee members. You can limit different types of content. So if there's sensitive articles or articles that are just for the sales team or articles that are for a support team. You can just give them their respective access to those different types of content. So there's a lot of flexibility with the members only content add-on, and actually it would work perfectly for a company intranet as well.
Well, and it's actually just for our publishers, so all of them need the exact same access to everything.
That's
but they
fine.
need, I'm going to use the member chat and a place to put videos and all those kinds of things. So do I actually need this then?
Is it a private site that you don't want anyone else to view the content of? So the stuff that those people are posting, is it public to the world? Is it private to the world?
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, then you're going to want this, and you could just, all your internal pages except like your home page will be members only. So only registered members will be able to view the content on the internal pages.
Yeah, so they would log in, and then they would be able to do member chat amongst themselves. And
but yeah, that once they're in the system, you can choose who can search for each other or who has visibility to each other. So if everyone can search everyone, that's perfectly fine. But the first level to lock down the internal pages and require them to log in or register, you're going to definitely want this members only content add-on.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Okay, great. Thanks,
All right.
Jason.
All right. Thanks. Good stuff, Lisa. So we got time for one more question here. Let's see if anyone has their hands up. And yeah, our good friend Vincent here. How you doing, Vincent?
Good, good. I am on my one of my sites. I have a. I'm getting a lot of calls, and I'm wondering, is there a way? What is your recommendations to help get more people to fill out the form?
Let's check out your site. Let's see what you're talking about here. Which site is that?
OEM Parts Dallas.
All right. When you say people are calling in,
like this site, it sells parts. I mean, people call to get parts. So I've just.
So where are they calling, and where would you rather they filled out a form? Let's go through that.
Like at the top, I used to have the phone number at the top where it says need auto parts, fill out this form and get prices, and then need auto parts. You see, I used to have phone number up there. So now you click there and then I still get so many phone calls. I'm just wondering, what has been your experience on how do you shift people to fill out the form rather than phone?
So where is the phone number listed now that people are calling? Down here?
Well, it is at the bottom, and if you click on the form, if you click there, you'll go to the form. And I used to have, and I have the if you need help, call.
Okay, the order parts takes you here as well.
Yeah, everything takes you to this form.
Okay,
but
I have two questions for you. First of all, it's good that people are calling. They see value in your site. Are you generating any revenue from these phone calls that are coming in and people are telling you what they need? Is it just a free service that you're offering, or are you generating any revenue?
No. I'm selling the leads now. I collect the information, okay, and then I sell it to 3 people.
If people prefer to call in this industry, I wouldn't deter them from doing so. I would call personally with a site like this because it's local to Dallas. It looks there's a phone number there. There's a couple things you could do. One is you could bring more attention to this page. You can make this page a little nicer. You could remove the phone number. But what I think's happening here is you might be graduating, Vincent, to using an answering service. There's like services like this, like Answer National. They'll pick up your phone for you. You can have an 800 number or whatever, and they basically bill you for how many minutes their operators are on the phone with people. So you buy like bulks of 200 minutes at a time, and you tell them the script you want them to say and the information you want them to collect. And I think they can also, these companies are pretty friendly. They're not, there's real people behind them. I think you can like just tell them to fill out this form on your site when they're talking to people. So you may want to consider an answering service, because again, this goes into that your time is valuable, and you're out with your family or friends. You can't be, people are calling in the middle of the night.
It drives my wife crazy.
Okay, so
It's up to about 30 calls a day right now.
Again, congratulations. I don't know if this is the company, but you might want to search like an answering service who can go ahead and welcome the caller, thank them for calling, tell them that they're going to take the order and find the best quote for that part, which basically they're just filling out the lead form here, and that your site's going to connect them with the best. You want to keep the call short, so you just got to keep it focused, give them the script. You can test it out with them a few times, call them, test them out, modify the script. But it sounds like, and this goes into the Google Voice thing that Dennis brought up, is it's time to graduate from calling your cell phone to maybe calling an 800 number. I like that it's local, but you might want to consider an answering service. The one thing I can do on your site, real quick, can I edit something in your menu here?
Have at it.
Okay. I just want to bring more attention to the to something in your main menu here. Let me just check something here.
And how would I get this form? Like right now, the form comes to me, but I want it to go to these other people that are paying.
So
is that under the leads?
Yeah, the lead settings. So let's look here. So that goes under indirect lead. Direct leads are leads when the person gets it from their profile page. So members should receive direct leads. I would set this to yes, to be honest.
No, but I don't. I use the whole site to just generate leads for me.
Oh, okay. So you don't want it to go to anyone?
No, I want it to go to the people that are paying. I have 3 people that are paying for those leads.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're gonna want to. Okay, we have a video on how to do this, but what you want to do is you have the automatic lead matching. What you want to do is create a new data flow. We call it how the lead data flows. So we'll call this paying members flow. Okay, I'll just go ahead and save that. Let's just do it for you right now. Okay. So what we do is, let's close this, reset this page. So
and is this still under finance? Is that under lead settings?
Yeah, hang on. I didn't save that one properly. Just a second. Oh, no, what I did is I edited that one. Sorry. I want to add an action. I apologize. All right, so add an action. So the name of this action is members paying for leads. And this is really cool about our lead system. So which members, you have a few membership levels. Which ones are the ones?
It's the most expensive one.
Here, let's go to your membership levels. This is really cool. Whoever's still on the webinar, I mean, super valuable here what's going on. So which one of these membership levels is it going to be?
It's the way there it is 3. Wait, no, the one with 3 right there. Premium listing 99.3, auto repair collision centers, premium listing 99.
Okay.
Up above it, the one up right there.
Okay.
What you passed it? It's auto repair and collision center, premium listing 99.
Here.
Sorry, it has 3 members. It's the only one with 3 members.
Okay, this one.
There it is.
Okay, sorry. There's no lead price set here.
This was my first site. This was my first site 3 years ago.
All right. There's no lead price set here. What price are these people paying for the leads?
They're just paying monthly. All get a copy of the lead.
Okay. So you want them to get the leads for free?
Well, yeah, because they're paying a monthly fee
to be part of the site.
To have access.
Okay. Gotcha. So what we want to do is copy it. So let's find them. So that's these guys here, right? Yeah. So we're going to select that. The name of the action.
So then I have to make sure that I need to make sure that the email address inside the thing is correct, right?
Yeah. So then what you want to do is receive indirect leads. Members should receive indirect leads. Yes. It'll be a preview. You still want them to see the pending. It's free for them to accept. We want
them to see the whole lead because they just pay a flat monthly fee right now.
Gotcha. Okay. So members should receive indirect leads. Those are the ones coming from your form. Now, it has to match with the category they're listed in and the location that's entered for it to become a lead match, which is fine. This is how it is. So complete. They're going to get the complete email and indirect leads. They'll also receive their indirect leads their direct leads. Those are leads from their profile page. All right, cool. So what it does is, now that we've created this new lead flow action, this only applies to this membership level, and everyone else, all the other members, get the main action one, which is basically everything set to no. So let's look at the main action again. Received direct leads, answer is no. Received indirect leads, answer is no. So these people, unless you manually match them, nobody else on your site is going to get matched with leads, but these members paying for leads are going to get their direct leads yes, and their indirect leads yes as well. And they're going to get the full lead, the complete lead.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah. Looks a little bulky, but when you spend a little time in here, it starts to make a little sense. So just one thing I wanted to do for you. That's good that we got to review that. In your main menu, I'm just going to highlight this
Okay, great.
cards thing. So I'm just going to add a class here. Just try here.
Well, I'm so happy with your software. It took a little while to get it rolling, but now it seems to be doing pretty good for me.
Good. Yeah, I mean, people are emailing and calling, and it's good. Yeah, check out the answering service. So let me just look at your design.
Yeah, I will definitely. You know, the thing is, this was my first site, and now I have probably 4 or 5 that are paying, and I'm building like 10 more.
Nice. Now, just to give you some quotes, with the answering service, try to start cheap. It shouldn't cost you thousands. It should be like under $100 or maximum like a couple $100 a month. It just depends how many minutes you need. So start with their lower plans, and after a month or two, see how many minutes those calls are actually taking. Because obviously, when you pre-purchase more minutes up front, you get a little bit of a discount, and feel free to negotiate with them as well. Again, it's not just this company, but just Google answering services and see which one. These guys are pretty friendly. I've heard good reviews about them. That's why I'm
okay. Wow. Thank you.
All right. So, all right. Order parts is now in orange. Let me just do one more thing.
Okay, great.
Just brings a little more attention to there. And then
okay, that's neat. That's really neat.
The next thing I would do is just on this page, I would use a sidebar. The form's a little large here.
Okay.
So let me.
Okay. Yeah, I just took the sidebar out.
Yeah, I would put the sidebar. It just helps frame the page a bit. And we do have.
Most of my sidebars have a form on them too.
Well, this is the one for
but I can take that out.
Here we go.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
So this is the. There you go.
I'll work on the sidebar.
Yeah, okay. But there you go. So it just helps frame it a bit, and this has like a little more attention to it there. But keep the phone number. Turn it into a positive.
Yeah, I agree. I just got to face the music and get somebody to help me.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I hope that helps a little for you there, and it's great to hear the progress you're making on the site here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, good stuff there from our friend Vince. He's getting bombarded with phone calls, his personal call. But yeah, see, this is an example, as Dennis was talking, where a Google Voice number can come in handy, the Calendly scheduling software, and in this case, graduating up to an answering service who can at least take messages or input forms for the people who are calling in and be polite to them, so you don't miss a call 24 hours a day. They can answer it for you. So I want to thank all of you for joining us here. It was a really awesome webinar Wednesday. Don't forget the 6 tips and the 7th tip, turning problems into opportunities, on how to reduce member cancellations. Hopefully next webinar we could talk about the Sell Digital downloads and get some of your feedback on that. Dennis, thanks for joining us for yet another webinar Wednesday. It's great to have you on here with us. More lab updates on the way. Don't get stuck on the hamster wheel. And also, please join our Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook, and we can continue the conversation there. Lisa and Eric, make those posts in the Facebook group, and we'll follow up this week and see if we can get you guys some answers. So on behalf of myself, Dennis, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you guys in 2 weeks in the next webinar. Have a productive week and have a great day. Bye, guys.